You know Schrodinger's cat? The famous thought experiment illustrating the cat that's both dead and alive until you open the box? Which according to quantum mechanics, an unobserved particle exists in all possible states at once. Boomer wealth was exactly like that. It existed in a quantum state where you could be rich both with skills and without technology, until the internet opened the box in the late 90s and collapsed that possibility forever. Today I'm showing you what was inside that box. The way a man could support a family and own a home on a milkman's salary stems from 3 wealth-building strategies that worked in this superposition state, and why the observation, the internet, changed the experiment permanently. Understand this, and you'll start to question free advice from grandpa, and stop trying to copy strategies from a reality that literally cannot exist anymore. In 1970, you could graduate high school on a Friday, walk into a GM factory on Monday, and by age 25, own a 3-bedroom house, 2 cars, and be raising 3 kids on a single income. That's not exaggeration. That's statistics. Not because you owned the plant, you just did oil changes. This is because union power was at its absolute peak, which meant factory workers had bargaining power. Your company didn't just employ you, they took care of you. We're talking full health insurance for your entire family, dental, vision, pension plans that guaranteed income for life, job security that meant something. You weren't a number in the system or a human resource to be optimized, you were an investment. These weren't gig jobs or contract positions. These were careers with dignity. A factory worker in the 70s made about $9,000 a year. Adjusted to modern US dollar rates, that's $70,000. But that same job now pays $35 to $42K, so you're literally making half what your grandfather made. But it gets worse because housing, healthcare, and college were so much cheaper back then that $70,000 had the buying power of about $120,000 today. Your grandpa's factory job gave him triple the lifestyle your Amazon warehouse job gives you now. This was pre-robotic job replacement, before factories moved to Mexico and China, before shareholder value meant gutting benefits and wage freezes. The social contract was exactly what most of us were told growing up. You show up, do honest work, and the company ensures you can live a middle-class life. Sadly, that couldn't be further from the truth. Today, those same jobs require certifications, pay half as much, offer contractor status with no benefits, and compete with automation. The internet didn't kill this directly, but it enabled the globalization and optimization that did. Oh, and on top of all that, tax brackets have changed, so if you were upper middle class in the boomer era, you were penalized less for making more. But that factory job, that was just one piece of a much larger puzzle. To really understand how we got here, we need to zoom out and look at the entire era that made this possible, because what I just described wasn't an accident or a fluke. It was the result of a specific 54-year window in human history that will never, ever repeat itself. 1946 to 2000, the analog wealth era. For 54 years, there was a golden window where the rules of wealth were beautifully simple and maddeningly predictable. This boom was a result of World War II, which created the perfect storm for American wealth. The US was the only major industrial power that wasn't bombed to rubble, which meant we became the world's factory by default. Millions of men came home with GI Bill benefits that paid for college and subsidized mortgages. Veterans were guaranteed jobs, and the government was pumping massive infrastructure spending into highways, suburbs, and technology. Europe and Asia were rebuilding. America was already built and selling them everything. This created 30 to 40 years of unprecedented economic expansion, where demand outpaced supply. Wages rose consistently, and a single income could support an entire family. Now, with this income, the next step was real estate. You'd be buying homes for 2 to 3 times your annual salary, not 8 to 10 times like today. You enjoy appreciation rates of 6 to 8% annually during stable decades. Most importantly, no Zillow or other online markets, which meant sellers had a worse idea of the true value of their property since they were unable to directly compare and analyze competitors. Depressingly, $25,000 house in 1970 equals $400,000 today. The combination of the average job and real estate could then be used to support the final pillar of godly boomer wealth: local business ownership. You used to be able to open a hardware store, bookshop, or restaurant in your town and essentially operate as a local monopoly. If you were the only decent Italian restaurant within 20 miles, you won by default. There was no Yelp where one bad review tanks your business, no Google Maps directing customers to competitors 3 towns over, no DoorDash bringing in outside competition. Your marketing strategy was literally a Yellow Pages ad, that thick phone book that showed up on your doorstep once a year, and maybe a billboard on the highway. That was it. If someone needed a plumber at 2 a.m., they opened the Yellow Pages, found your ad, and called you. You didn't need SEO, Google Ads campaigns, hire a weird teenager to post reels for your store, or have a personal brand at all. Just a storefront, decent service, and a handshake. Business ran on relationships, not algorithms. You knew your customers by name, they knew you, and loyalty was built over coffee and conversations, not automated ad targeting based off your metadata. Then Amazon happened. Suddenly your hardware store is competing with 2-day shipping, and prices you can't match because you're not buying 10 million units from Shenzhen. Your bookstore? Dead. Your local retail shop? Crushed. The internet didn't give small businesses opportunity. It gave them global competition they could never survive. Today you need a website, social proof, email funnels, and you're still getting undercut by someone operating out of their garage with a Shopify store. The relationship economy got replaced by the analytical economy, and most small businesses never stood a chance. But during the local business heyday, you could use the profits of your store to invest and build generational wealth. Lower cost of living plus income from business job and home equity equals more to invest. Although simple indexes like the S&P 500 saw lower market returns comparatively to today, 10 to 12% during boom decades, you still had more capital, so it didn't matter. So compound interest on that stable career income. Set it and forget it actually worked. As manufacturing started declining in the 80s and 90s, the dot-com bubble kicked in. A speculative frenzy where anyone with a dot-com could raise millions. Stock markets exploded, and paper wealth made everyone feel rich again. It was a second wind of exuberance that kept the party going until 2000. During this entire era, physical presence equaled competitive advantage. Think about it. If you wanted to buy a house, you had to physically drive to neighborhoods, talk to realtors who had exclusive listing books, and show up to open houses. If you wanted a job, you walked into an office with a resume. If you wanted to start a business, you needed a storefront on Main Street. Physical presence filtered out 90% of your competition automatically. The path was predictable, almost boring. Go to college, get a corporate job, climb the ladder for 30 years, collect your pension, retire with a paid-off house. Repeat. Millions of people did exactly this and became comfortable, even wealthy. So you can't really blame them when they try to tell us to the same thing. You may be asking yourself why that window slammed shut. The internet democratized information and killed information asymmetry overnight. Or simply put, suddenly, everyone had access to the same data. Home prices, salary ranges, business strategies. You couldn't charge a premium just for knowing something anymore. Then globalization flattened competition. That corporate job? Now you're competing with someone in India or the Philippines who'll do it for a third of the cost, remotely. And finally, 2008 was the nail in the coffin. The financial crisis exposed that pensions were dying, that corporate loyalty was a myth, that the housing market wasn't a guaranteed piggy bank, and that the old social contract, work hard, company takes care of you, was now just propaganda from big corporations. The internet didn't level the playing field, but erased the field entirely, replacing it with a global arena where the old rules don't apply and anyone can compete. What I like to call the velocity paradox of our time is that the baby boomers built wealth slowly and predictably, while newer generations must move fast through uncertainty, and trying to bridge this gap with 1980s strategies in 2026 is financial suicide. You might spend 8 years in university only to be unable to find a job with that fancy degree, or you might spend 2 years building a digital product in your room which could set yourself up for decades. The internet didn't just shake up the odds, it fundamentally rewrote the rules of success. While they could build wealth through stability, patience, and climbing the corporate ladder for 30 years, today's economic reality demands adaptability, multiple income streams, and constant reinvention in an environment where geographic arbitrage has died, winner-take-all economics dominate, and attention has become our scarcest resource. The brutal truth is that we can't retire on pensions that don't exist, and can't rely on company loyalty when layoffs are quarterly events. Success now requires embracing this paradox by moving fast through chaos, while filtering through the endless stream of information on how to do so. The old playbook of playing financial defense and banking on local reputation simply cannot compete. However, I am a glass half full kind of guy. One positive out of this new reality is that anyone can be successful. You don't have to come from a good background to make it. David in Cape Town now has roughly the same shot as Timmy in California. That's it for me. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you might also like my video about get-rich-quick schemes. In the 80s, people actually fell for. Right here. Remember to smash that like and subscribe, as not only would I greatly appreciate it, it would also help out a ton. Cheers.